everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Emily Campagno. Today we're also welcoming back to the couch television host and author Kim Douglas, who was with us yesterday, and professor of medicine at NYU's Langone Medical Center and Fox News contributor Dr. Mark Siegel. So we begin here, 2024. President Biden is set to hold a joint news conference with South Korea's leader moments from now. It will be the first time Biden will be taking questions from reporters since launching his re-election campaign. He last took questions at a joint event in Canada last month alongside Justin Trudeau, but he hasn't held a solo news conference in 6 months. There may be a strategy to that. Today's news conference comes as questions mount about the president's age and ability to perform the duties of the job, and whether Vice President Harris is the best choice to succeed him should Biden not be able to complete his term. Just yesterday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, she refused to say if Biden planned to serve all 8 years.
Does the president plan to serve all 8 years?
I'm just not going to get ahead of the president. That's something for him to decide. I'm just not going to get ahead of it. And there's a 2024 campaign. Anything related to that, I would refer you to that.
Well, it didn't take long for the cleanup on aisle 5, with Jean-Pierre tweeting less than an hour later, quote, "As you know, we take following the law seriously, so I wanted to be sure that I didn't go into 2024 more than is appropriate under the law, but I can confirm that if reelected, President Biden would serve all 8 years." I understand her taking great pains to abide by the Hatch Act, so we will give her that one. But, you know, Harris, there may be a strategy to this lack of a press conference. Eli Stokols from Politico, he says this: Biden's campaign launch is immediately overshadowed by other events, and his team loves it. The president wants, to a degree, to be the political background noise. And it's really interesting because typically you want to cover the airwaves, you want to be out there, you want to be fundraising, but they want to hide him away as president and let the noise play out.
Well, they have to do that right now because the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, is getting ready to scoop up some power. If he can get all of his Republicans in line, if he can herd the room, so to speak, and put together that debt ceiling bill, which has some spending cuts. Basically, what Congresswoman Malliotakis of New York just told me seconds ago was, this only takes us back like 18 months. It takes us back to pre-COVID levels, the height of the pandemic. So it's not something that we can't live with as a nation, but it is fiscally more responsible. Biden doesn't want to have to be asked about why didn't you go to the table on something as simplistic as that, because that alone, she says, is going to save a ton of money. But then you've got to answer the question as a unifier, potentially, since that's what he said before, why did you change your message? That would be my second question after the debt ceiling, because I think that if we were to default, his administration, it would fall on them because he refused to negotiate. So that would be my first. But then why no unity? Why the soul-crushing badness of Biden against the Republicans? Why are you rolling like that? Have you seen the laser thing? And I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. It's a far cry from that inauguration speech where we heard unity like as much as we heard the word the. But Emily, Republicans should beware, because I do think there's a strategy here. There is a Biden super PAC out today with a 6-figure ad by $1 million. It's more than 6 figures, in 3 places: Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. These are those Rust Belt states where the voters went from Trump to Biden, and Biden prevailed and took those states back from the Trump column. Interestingly, yesterday, what did he do? He puts out the video announcement. He goes and gives a speech in front of North America's building trades union, trying to win back those workers. And then Harris gives a speech on reproductive rights. So they are slowly working towards a general election already. You know, Republicans are going to the right. They're in the primary. They are working towards a general election. That gives them 18 months of runway.
And not only is their runway global, right? It's this 30,000-foot view of the entire process, but it really means that's why the GOP has to be so specific. Because if they're concentrating on these big ticket items that they deem to be the fundamental and foundational elements of their party right now, the GOP needs to get in there and say, but this is where they have failed. This is where these talking points don't matter to the American person. That has their value being devalued, that has their grocery list be unaffordable now, that has their job in jeopardy and the like. You mentioned the campaign ad, and I just have to say, you know, I truly thought that when we first aired it that we were replaying the ad from before. How is it that the person that was supposed to unify the company put unify the country, put as his example of MAGA extremists, other elected officials, sitting Congress with people, sitting senators. This is the person that was supposed to work across the aisle. So it's incumbent upon the GOP to strike now and poke holes in that long runway so that it doesn't work. Because the thing is, there's a chance it might. And no matter how often we sit here and point to the absolute and utter failures of this presidency, it still might work. So we cannot lose sight of the effort and work it will take to combat that in the next 2 years.
You raised some really important points, because when he says MAGA extremists, like, he says it as a broad stroke. For instance, he called everyone who supported this one bill a MAGA extremist. Among them was like Mitt Romney, who's perhaps as moderate as you could get in the Republican Party. Not only that, that campaign ad you mentioned, which I saw in the Faulkner Focus, he mentions freedom, Kim, and we talked about this yesterday, and it's intentional. Celinda Lake, who's a pollster, she's out with this quote: "I can tell you that freedom has been testing very, very strongly." And it was a major theme in 2022. So clearly they've done focus groups. They say freedom is popular. So even though we might not embody that, we're just going to say it a bunch of times.
Yeah, or they could just ask like 5 people outside.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly. No, I feel it's so much of, wait, look, over there, Harris, behind you.
Freedom?
Yeah, like, wait, don't look at me, the age thing, all the, as you said so eloquently, groceries, all the issues. Just look over there at freedom. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, Enos Cantor freedom. He chose a really good last name, apparently.
Yeah, but it's disingenuous. I think that's what you're
Yeah,
trying
where
to
Enos
get at.
Cantor
I mean,
embodies the word.
It's kind of like Democrats suddenly talking about fighting a crime crisis. Although they still don't call it a crisis.
No,
Right.
it's a so-called.
Yeah.
It is.
exactly.
Well, Kim, want to get your thoughts on this too. Let's put this up. So Fox News polling shows that Biden is at historic lows in some categories, or near historic lows, among women,
Right.
45 plus, suburban voters, rural voters, and Democrats, near historic lows. So how do you think he wins back these voters? Is it even possible?
Well, I think we have to look at the issue, which we've talked about quite a bit, that age is one of the biggest reasons that they're saying it's so low in his polling. And look, I think you all just called me old. I'm the oldest one. You did. I heard it, and especially Dr. Siegel. He said it.
Not at all.
No, but seriously, it's like I probably am the most mature person on the, that was nice how I said that, on the couch, but I am not Don Lemon. I am not about ageism at all. But this is the leader of the free country and of the free world. And the thing with that is that if his cognitive functions are something that we're questioning, even the Democrats, then we definitely have to look at this and bring this forward. And again, going to what I said about you, Harris, look over there. It's not
freedom.
the age.
Yeah, you got me to spin my head around.
And we talk about age a lot, but it can't be the age, right? Because there's a real theoretical possibility there are 2 octogenarians, or soon to be, running for president. It's about mental acuity, Dr. Siegel.
Right. Now, look, the AP poll that shows that he has less than a 30% in the country want him to run, and Democrats less than 50%, that's age. The American public thinks it's age. But I don't think it's age. I think it's fitness to serve. And I think it's something that actually President Trump said to me in July of 2020, what about a cognitive test? We just saw Kevin O'Connor's report in February, the president's doctor, and it didn't list a cognitive test again. It didn't list an MRI again.
Why not?
It listed a stiff gait, which can correlate with cognitive problems. Why not? I mean, it looked like it was a whitewash, and we certainly didn't have that with previous presidents. I didn't see the MRI. I've been asking for it. Why wasn't there a cognitive test? Well, you have to ask them. Maybe he wouldn't have passed it. And by the way, it doesn't mean that the president is aware of all of this. He may have a problem with cognitive slowing, and I see signs of it, although I haven't examined him and I'm not his doctor. But, he's too concrete a lot of the time. He gets disoriented, more and more confused. I'll tell you something, he's handled, and Kayleigh knows this better than anyone. I went down to the White House. She's like, he's going to say what he's going to say. I can't tell him what to say. That's what Kayleigh said.
About Trump?
Yes, he's going to say what
Kayleigh, the best press secretary, and Dana Perino, 2 of the greatest press secretaries ever.
Thank you.
And she did not handle him. This guy's being handled. So we don't really know. There's a smokescreen, and we have a right to transparency.
You've got 2 things going on there, because you have what you're talking about. You'd like to see some more testing, different testing done on him to gather the aging process, which happens to all of us, by the way. But there's also the gaffiness, which he's been doing since he was 30. So, I mean, you can't really age test for gaffes. And that's as big a problem and as big a reason for his team to handle him as anything else.
It's a good point. Well, you know,
I
to
don't know
be
if they're
commander.
gaffes. I don't know if they're gaffes.
We'll see.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
We'll see on the campaign trail. You know, he won't be in a basement this time. But to be commander-in-chief, like a prerequisite is being in command. Just a thought.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.